In 2022, what had been the coach training organization became the coaching education organization, and along with it announced the change in naming of curriculum to introduce level 1, level 2, and level 3 as progressive curriculum for the livelihood of being a coach. I'm going to get into those details, but I want to start with my own personal story because it does kind of run in parallel with the introduction of coaching and the association, the international, at that time called Coach Federation. Back in the early 90s, I was working inside of an organization and looking for a coaching solution to a huge change management program. And I was deeply trained and skilled in facilitation and in some organization development. And I really thought, I don't need any training to do this. Well, I was wrong. And I was delighted to meet some colleagues who were well on this path in the early 90s who came in and supported this program that we put together. I'd never seen anything like it. The harmonizing of the power differential that happens in organizational life all the time, where you have people with title in a room with people without title, and they're all kind of on guard with each other. Coaching removed all of that and made it possible for a tremendous co-creative design to emerge and ultimately get implemented. I was hooked. And when I struck out as an entrepreneur in 1996, ICF had begun and I started looking around for some coach training because I'd been doing all this teamwork. I wanted to do individual work with executive leaders. And I never do anything single-threaded. I did 3 different training programs there in 1997 and in 1998 and thoroughly enjoyed them. But what strikes me now as a coaching educator, and I have been since 2006, and I'm 12,000 hours later in my coaching practice, is that early work, while it was absolutely wonderful for me, doesn't even come close to the rigor and discipline that we have today in the over 1,200 programs that are offering coaching education around the world. Now, when the announcements were made to turn it from training into coaching education, they also got rid of what many of us for a long time said, this alphabet soup makes no sense to anybody, except those of us who were administering programs. And so we moved to level 1, level 2, level 3. But I can tell you from talking to prospective students and coaches around the world, there's still a little bit of confusion. The way to think about this is that a fully rigorous program that develops you progressively to embody and practice the professional certified coach level of coaching, a level you could be very satisfied with for a lifetime, that's what level 2 curriculum is designed to provide. Most programs are somewhere in the 12 months, a few maybe at 9 months, but really 12 to 18 months. Why? Because, of course, you get good at coaching by coaching. Coaching, reflection, feedback, rinse, repeat. And guess what? That never goes away. I'm 12,000 hours later, and I assure you, I still work with a mentor coach and a coaching supervisor. So level 2, think of that as the foundation if you want to have a livelihood as a professional coach. It's the vocation you're choosing. There is an opportunity to do a level 1 program, which is 60 hours and also is the beginning of a level 2 program. This is designed for those that maybe not a livelihood, maybe it's a life skill, or you're adding it to an existing practice, such as social work or therapy, or maybe you specialize in fitness training or nutrition, any number of specialties, even consulting and change management. 60 hours is also an excellent foundation for leaders who want to embody a coach-like approach. Whatever your application, it is something you're adding to your professional life, and you'd like to earn the recognition as an ICF credential holder at the Associate Certified Coach level, or ACC. And at some point in the future, you change your mind, you can always come back and do the second half of the level 2 program and work your way into PCC development. So what this did essentially was make sure that everybody who chooses to be an ICF coach has the experience of progressive learning. And on their way, they're getting mentor coaching feedback and support from whatever organization they've taken their training from to ensure they have an ethical and quality practice. Now, one other really big change the ICF brought forward was in recognition that many people were coaching from PCC, 500 hours of client practice, to MCC, 2,500 hours of practice, without a whole lot of support for their progressive development. Yes, everybody was taking training because that's part of our continuing education responsibility. And yet we were taking small bite-sized CCE programs, not necessarily progressive development. And we discovered it didn't work so well. We had too many people who were not being successful in the submission of demonstration of their MCC competence. In recognition of this and the desire to bring a great deal of quality to the field for people who carry the credential award of MCC, Level 3 curriculum solves this problem. It helps you once you're out in the market as a PCC coach, when you are ready to take your practice to another level of artful skill, you want to invest in a Level 3 program. And that's 75 hours of development and another 10 hours of mentor coaching. The combination of the two prepare you to recognize, yeah, this is kind of my passion. I want you to cultivate an inner coach awareness and recognize when you are demonstrating at the MCC level. This is not meant to be a mystery. It ought to be very clear to you what the distinctions are between achieving the level of PCC and then what it is as a lifelong journey to drop into your own unique expression artfully at the MCC level. So the curriculum for Level 3 is what prepares you. And there's no replacement for your own reflection on practice and being a good student of your own work, so that when you arrive at 2,500 hours, you're confident in submission of your recordings to the ICF to earn the MCC award. By now, you're likely getting quite excited about the possibility of becoming a professional coach as your livelihood. And of course, I've talked about 3 levels of programming curriculum. We have all 3 of those at inviteCHANGE, and we have been in the market doing this work since 1997. If you're wanting to get more information about our progressive and rigorous program, please go to our website, invitechange.com. And if you click the link down below, you're going to see an opportunity for a free consultation with one of our relationship advisors. As the Director of Education, I'm always thrilled to welcome new participants into our programs, and I will look forward to seeing you really soon.